What is up, everybody? You are back with another episode of the Chronically Motivated Project. Today is Monday. That means today is Monday's motto. And today's motto, you are the answer to all your problems. Everybody's looking for answers. Everyone has so many problems in their life and so many things is going on, and everyone is looking for that one answer to that one problem or 50 problems that you currently have. What is the answer to this fucking question? And it all boils down to one answer. Regardless of the problem you have, it boils down to one answer. And that answer is you. You have always been the answer, and you always will be the answer. Because what you do and what problems you have are all interrelated. The only things you can really control are how you react, how you respond, and what you choose to do about the problems that you're currently facing. No circumstance, no event, no previous history, no religion, no nothing determines how a problem can be solved, more so than what you decide to do and what your focus is. Everything in your life is your fault. And I'm sure that pisses you off. That probably makes you a little bit mad, doesn't it? I'm going to rustle your jimmies a little bit more. Your income, your weight, your sex life, your relationship, your happiness, the things you have and the things you don't have are all your fault. Yeah, that's right. Not your parents, not Obama, not Trump, not the government, not a feminist's fault, or not the liberals' fault, or not white people's fault, or not black people's fault, or not Islamic's fault, or not Christians' fault. That's the fucking truth. And the truth is, your life is your fault. But I'm not done. Here's some more. It's not your girlfriend or your boyfriend's fault that they hurt you. It's not your wife or your husband's fault. You chose to be with that person originally, and you still choose to be with that person now if that's the case. Hell, I mean, even in the marriage sense, you chose to get married, and you could have been smart and never got legally married in the first place, but that's just me. Any negative condition you have or you have faced in your past or you will face most likely can be traced down to your decisions and your actions regarding that situation. They can all be traced back to your actions and your decisions. Ultimately, thus, therefore, and to whom it may fucking concern, your life is your fault. Now, how can this possibly be motivating? This just sounds like I'm digging at you. Well, the amazing thing is that it's your fault. And that means you can do something about it. Now, there are going to be some people who disagree with me and say, not everything in life is your fault. You know, you don't have control over everything in your life because there's certain situations, certain circumstances that are impossible to get around. Oh, yeah? Okay, let's acknowledge the 1% of people who don't have choice or their life is not their fault. Kids with cancer and things like that, kids that are dying, that's not their fault. That's an anomaly. People in third world countries that are completely just terrible living situations, North Korea, Somalia, things like that. Okay? And children in general, who have no control, their parents control everything, and they just can't really get out. And even though some do, they can't really get out. So unless you are an 8-year-old kid dying of cancer in Somalia, this probably doesn't apply to you because you're listening to my podcast or watching my podcast. You're probably on social media. So that doesn't apply to you. And that should further prove the point that your life is your fault. Because if you have to go to a kid with cancer or to someone living in Somalia in terrible conditions to prove the point that not everything in life is your fault, you don't fit that case. So no, back up. Stay in your lane, okay? Stay in your control lane because you have control of what lane you're in. Now, aside from those specific people, yes, your life is your fault, and you are the answer to all of those problems. Life is not what happens to you, it's how you handle what happens to you. It's what you do when you're put in that shitty situation or put in that situation. It's how you handle those things. Now, for some people, they play the victim. For some people, they're riding their bike and they stick that stick through their spokes and cause their own pain and say, I can never get through this because of my situation, because I am this religion, because I am this skin color, because I have this medical condition, because I have this disability, because I have this amount of money. That whole time that you're telling me, or you're telling the world, or you're telling Facebook that you can't do something because of your circumstance, I'm thinking about the people that are or were in your same circumstance or 10 times worse and made it through and made it better and made something fucking incredible with their life. Yeah, I'm thinking about those people. I'm thinking about the lady who got third-degree burns over 80% of her body in a fucking firestorm while she's running a marathon. The name can't come to me, but I'm sure one of the people watching this can post below. 80% of her body burned. And now she's a super affluent, teacher and inspirer and writer and author and holding seminars and doing all these amazing things. I'm thinking about the person with no arms and no legs who's killing the game in the fitness industry. I'm thinking about the person who didn't let his skin color, white, black, tan, what other skin colors are? I don't know. White, black, tan, I guess. I'm thinking about those people who didn't let their skin color stop them from getting to where they want to be. I'm thinking about the people who didn't let their religion dictate their level of success. I'm thinking about the women who stood up for their rights even when they were told they couldn't. I'm thinking about the people who faced true hardship in their circumstance and overcame their circumstance through drive and desire to not let their circumstance define their life. They were the answer to their life's problems, just as you are the answer to your life's problems. Okay? If your life is messed up or you're having some issues accepting or understanding why things are so hard, it's most likely because of 3 things. Your priorities are fucked up. Priorities are greater than your circumstances. I'll say that again. Your priorities are greater than your circumstances. If you're poor, that means you haven't made making more money a priority. Oh, you have? Oh, tell me more. Oh, well, I'm working this job and it's not paying me enough. And I looked on Craigslist for a job. I looked on Indeed and I couldn't find one. And I got a family. I can't just move jobs. I've been here for years. Excuse. I never said it was going to be easy. Nothing about what I just said it was going to be easy. Said it was going to be convenient or fun or easy. Oh, I said that already because it's not fucking easy. No. But if your priority was making money, if your priority was not being poor anymore, you would spend more time focusing on the things that would make you less poor. You could get a second or a third, hell, a 4th job. You can use Uber and Lyft, or if you're in the United States. You can use these ride-sharing and home-sharing platforms. You can write online. You can be resourceful and use that Google bar that you watch porn or stupid cat videos all day and turn it into a resource to bring you more money. So if being poor was your priority, you're killing it. If not being poor was your priority, you need to fucking change some things around and focus on the things that are going to get you out of that situation. Priorities are greater than your circumstance, but your priorities often dictate your circumstances. If being overweight is your problem, is something you struggle with, that means you haven't made living a healthy lifestyle, eating healthy, or exercising a priority, a full priority, not a 1 week priority or a 1 month priority or hell, even a 1 year priority. You haven't made it a forever priority. You haven't delved into health education, learning more about how to lose body fat. If you think just eating healthy is how you lose body fat and you tried eating healthy for a week and it didn't work, you're wrong, because eating healthy is not how you lose body fat. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see some of my talks and some of my challenges and weight loss, all kinds of stuff. I went to school for this stuff. They packed 4 years of education into more than eat healthy to lose body fat, I promise you. Learning about metabolism and understanding macronutrient intake and caloric intake, you can get educated. if that was your priority. If it was a simple little desire, then no. But if losing weight was a priority, you'd be in the process of losing weight. If you're unhappy, that means you haven't made if you're unhappy, you haven't made your happiness your priority. You might have let someone else get into your head. Someone else might have become your priority. Someone else's happiness might have become your priority. And that's your choice. And that's the wrong choice. The second reason why people find themselves in these fucked up situations in life, in these shitty situations in life mentally, they run their mouth too much. You gotta stop running your mouth. What do I mean by that? People live in their head. They talk to themselves, and they tell themselves they deserve more, they deserve better, they're such a nice person, they're so smart, they're so this, they're so that. All this talk, but nothing is happening. No amount of imagination is going to put you in a better situation, is going to get you a less shitty car, or is going to cook food better for you. No amount of imagination is going to do that for you. You don't have because you don't do. You don't have because you don't do. Judge yourself by your actions, not by the things you tell yourself about yourself. Stop talking and just do something about it. People get so caught up in wanting to tell people why they have it hard. People get caught up in validating their excuses and validating their circumstances, almost as if they're comfortable there. It makes them feel good to convince more people to say, yeah, I understand why you're in a shitty situation. That sucks, and I'm sorry. You don't deserve that. No, I'm never going to tell you that. Don't ever come at me. Don't ever slide in my DMs and say, Chris, my situation sucks, doesn't it? Like, no, fuck your situation. Your attitude sucks. Your decisions and your behaviors and your priorities, remember we talked about those a little bit ago? Your priorities suck. Fix your damn priorities and stop talking shit. You give too much. The third one is you give too much. Now, everyone wants to be humble. Everyone wants to be charitable and give. Everyone wants to be seen as that giving person. But your happiness is equal to other people's happiness. Like, your happiness is equal to that person's happiness. Your happiness is equal to 10 people's happiness. Your happiness is equal to the world's happiness. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. Everyone equally deserves to be happy. You don't deserve to be more happy than the next person, just as they don't deserve to be more happy than you. Everyone is on a level playing field, okay? People will try and manipulate and abuse and almost neglect your charitable donations of your time and your energy, love, feelings, and just the things you give to people. You're never obligated to make someone else happy. This is a massive point for anyone struggling with any sort of relationship or friendship issues, or even boss to employee issues. You're never obligated to make someone else happy. Now, you should and can do it by choice, but you should never do it by force. Too many times I see people getting dragged down the road because they care about someone, because they want something so bad from their boss or their job that they just let people walk all over them. And I've been guilty of it before too. But at a certain point, hell, at the beginning, that's your choice. That's your fault. And I feel bad because I also feel stupid because I've done it. It's your fault. It was my fault when I did it. It's your fault when you do it. Because at the end of the day, your happiness is important, just as important as the other person's. And if you think that's not true, that's your fault. You come first. For you to make other people happy, you have to be happy yourself. So if you're just freely giving that stuff away and you're getting trampled on, at a certain point, you got to say goodbye. At a certain point, you got to start cutting people off. The people who don't show you effort and emphasis and reciprocation of what you're giving, maybe they're not meant to be in your life. Maybe you're giving too much, but maybe they're not giving enough. Be careful with your charitable donations, especially those things like your time and your energy. You only have so much. Life is not about what happens to you. It's how you handle what happens to you. You are the answer to all your problems if you willingly accept that your circumstances don't matter as much as your responses. Don't be afraid to take life by the balls. Don't be afraid to do what you need to do. The worst thing you can do is sit back and bitch and complain and wish things were different. Instead of doing that, sit up, pay attention, see how things are, and ask yourself what you can do to make it better. Don't be that person who's just bringing everyone down and complaining about their circumstance. I think of it like a video game, honestly. Think about something like Call of Duty. You're playing with your friends and your goal is to kill everyone else on the board. I hope everyone's following me. You're playing online with your friends. But imagine you start to look at the video game. You're like, this is just a game on a server made up of a bunch of pixels, binary codes, and there's no point. They're all fixed actions in this game, and I have no free will. My circumstances are controlled, and there's nothing I can do about it. And then you stop playing because all you want to do is complain about how the circumstances are above your control. Then you and your friends lose the game. Now your friends hate you, and you keep complaining to your friends about how the game is pointless and it's not fun because there's no free will and because it's a fixed outcome. Your friends hate you more now. You're taking the fun out of the game. You're seeing this situation differently. Your friends see the situation as, oh, this is fun. We're having fun. This is enjoyable. I get to play. It's a great time. You see the situation as a bunch of pixels and pointless. Perspective. That game is like life. It's fun. Have fun. Do the best you can with whatever situation you have. If you run out of ammo and you only have a knife, fucking run around and start stabbing people and do what you need to do. Jump up and down and turn around stupid, hide in the bushes. Do what you can to survive. Because as long as you're in the game, you can have fun and do different things. The game is life. As long as you're in life, you can make something work. You can do something else. You can go around it. You don't have to do everything. Not everything's going to be perfect. You're not always going to have the coolest fucking guns or grenades or anything to kill the whole team. Sometimes you're not going to have much, but as long as you're in the game, you can still play and make the most of it. Don't be that dude. Don't be that girl. Don't be that person who complains about their circumstance. Be that person who does something about it. Hope you guys enjoyed Monday's motto. That wraps up today's podcast, Chronically Motivated Project. I will be back tomorrow with Trash Talk Tuesday. And until then, I will talk to you guys later.